What's up, guys? Welcome to Inside Edge with Rick and Ryan. Today we're going to be talking about the topics that you see in the middle there.
Right there. So we're going to start off with Major League Baseball today. And obviously the big headline around the world right now, Giancarlo Stanton to New York. What do you got, Ryan?
Stanton headed to New York. His contract entails that the Yankees pretty much lost nothing. They just have to pay a bunch of money. Stanton's deal originally was $295 million, 10 years. Miami's going to eat 30 of it, and the Yankees are only have to pay 265 of it. I mean, it's still a ton of money, but all they're losing for this deal is Starlin Castro and prospects Jorge Guzman and Jose Devers. So really not losing too much for MVP caliber player.
MVP caliber, you mean the 2017 MVP?
The MVP.
The MVP. Yeah, he had a monster year down at sea level, and being above sea level, he's going to hit a ball possibly out of Yankee Stadium. He's going to do some damage. He's going to put some into places that no one's ever put him in that stadium, and they have Aaron Judge. So it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. They say Miami's one of the toughest stadiums to hit home runs out of, and he hit out 59 last year.
Obviously not all at home. I'm sure he hits plenty of them on the road and away, but the dude has stupid power, and putting him in such a small park, it's dumb, honestly.
Between him, Judge, Didi, and Gary Sanchez, I think the stat was they hit 169 home runs last year or something. Crazy. Like, it's dumb. Over 400 RBIs.
And that's not even mentioning Aaron Hicks in this situation, because he had a big year last year, and I can imagine if he actually figured it out with the amount of talent he has. He's a former first-round draft pick. He could, if he finally figured it out with this whole launch angle thing, their lineup is stacked.
Yeah, so I just checked it out. Stanton hit 31 home runs at home last year and 28 on the road. So he hit more home runs in Miami than anywhere else.
And that is
not an easy task. That's like that's hitting 40 at home pretty much. Like, if he played in any other stadium, guarantee it. He's gonna be hitting pop flies in New York. They're gonna get out by 30 feet still. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, at the end of the day, he's gonna be
If Stanton doesn't hit 60, it's a bust. In that small of a field, in above sea level, in the conditions that he's going to be in, as long as he can handle the pressure of being a Yankee, he should easily hit 60 if he stays healthy.
Oh yeah, I mean, I will keep saying this. If he doesn't break the Yankees home run record at 61, I'll be amazed. If he stays healthy, obviously, that's a big thing.
Yeah. Injuries can always hurt a season. Real quick. Moving on next, Derek Jeter, the part owner of the Marlins now. There's a lot of controversy with this dude right now. The captain, as you guys all know him, of the New York Yankees, sending his best player to his former team.
Yeah, it's actually pretty ridiculous that this is how the deal worked out. But at the start, in Derek Jeter's defense, at the start of the whole trade rumor, we all kind of figured Stanton was going to go. They're either going to pick Stanton this year or pass for someone like Bryce Harper for free agency next year. And, yeah, I mean, it's pretty nuts.
I think they got the right guy, honestly. Bryce Harper's great, but he's a lot of package to carry. He's got a little bit of an attitude. Stanton's I think he's more of a level-headed person and just has raw power, like ridiculous raw power.
Yeah, I mean, Harper is someone that you're really just paying for. Like, they're both kind of in this category now. It's kind of ridiculous how much these guys get paid for not being like five-tool players. But, I mean, you can't really argue with power nowadays. Launch angle and all that, everyone's paying for the big – the chicks dig the long ball is what y'all like to say, and that is the definition of how these guys are going to – Bryce Harper's going to get paid $400+ million next year just off of – home runs.
Oh, yeah. He's making tons of money on hitting bombs. But it's either a crazy coincidence of Derek Jeter or, he's trying to rebuild. I think he wants to prove himself. He wants to start from scratch. The best way to rebuild is getting $300 million off your salary cap and building from there.
So what was the numbers again? It was
They got rid of $295
yeah,
million contract.
$295 million contract. And how much of it do they have to pay? Just I have to stop my dog. Like
So how it works, guys, is so it was a $295 million contract. Yankees have to pay 265 because the Marlins are going to eat 30 of it. But 30 mil for that dude, nothing. Like getting him for 265 million is a steal when you consider Bryce Harper and Mike Trout, when their contracts come up, they're probably going to be worth upwards of $400 million. Getting Stanton for someone who's just as good as them right now, maybe not Trout, but I think he's just as good as Harper right now, is an absolute steal.
Absolutely ridiculous how much these guys are going to be paid. I don't even want to. Mike Trout, like they're always talking about that $400 million contract. Mike Trout, if Bryce Harper gets paid $400 million, Mike Trout deserves $500 million. Yeah. He's an all-around package.
I completely agree. On that topic with the Angels, Ohtani.
Let's be honest, the only reason he went there is because he gets to play with the best player in the world.
Shohei Ohtani. I hope I pronounced his first name right. But the fireballer from Japan.
Dude is ridiculous. He, as it's been proven in the past with people like Ichiro and Hideki Matsui, that you can move from league to league. Tanaka, you can move from league to league and do just fine.
That Japanese league is no joke.
Yeah, they're really talented over there, and the Angels really didn't give up a whole lot to get him. Like, yes, the international signing bonus money is a little bit different than a normal thing, but they only paid $2.315 million to get this guy.
This guy throws 100 miles an hour, supposedly. He can hit a ball 500 feet. We're going to see how he pans out. He didn't pitch much in 2017. He only had 5 appearances, I believe. He only pitched 25 innings, but he did hit in 65 games and hit 8 home runs. With him going to a American League team, obviously he's not going to get to hit as much.
See, that's where I'm confused with this whole situation too. You could put him at DH. I mean, the guy hit, what was it, 22 home runs
his
in
lifetime,
2016?
Yeah, 22. His lifetime is 286, so he's a good hitter in Japan.
And that league has proven that if you can hit there, you can hit in the major leagues a lot of the time. And I think it's going to be interesting for them. A lot of people were talking about it. Are they going to take at-bats away from Albert Pujols for this guy just because of his name? Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But in the past couple of years, Albert Pujols has been declining a lot. So,
yeah, it definitely could. Ohtani's last 2 years in Japan, he had 382 at-bats and 231. He hit 322 in 2016, and he hit 332 last year. So he's just getting better. Yeah.
So I mean, that's just off average alone. That's going to be, if he can hit anywhere near that, it's going to be better than what Pujols has been putting up. It's not, Pujols isn't the same guy as he used to be. So obviously, average has fallen, but home runs and power he still has.
Yep, for sure. Big time name like Pujols, I don't think you can take it ABs away from as long as he's on your team.
Yeah, no, and also people don't realize that everyone's talking about him being like the next Babe Ruth. This guy, he could legit be a closer in the major leagues. This guy is a fireballer. He throws gas. He says his goal is to break the record on the hardest pitch thrown by the time he's 25.
Yeah, dude's 23 right now. Lots of upside. I think personally, my personal opinion, I don't think he's going to be as good as everyone thinks he is, but with the tools he does have, definitely could work out.
Yeah, for sure. Because there's a billion people that play baseball, and to be able to do both parts of baseball, pitching and hitting at a major league level, is going to be pretty ridiculous. So I don't think it's going to work out as great.
And picking up someone internationally super cheap. They got him for a steal. I think the Angels only offered like
2.3.
Yeah, $2.3 million.
And the reason that did happen is because he didn't want to wait 2 years. He came right away, and if he would have waited 2 years, he would have got out of the international signing system. Yeah. And Now he probably would have made 200 plus million, but I think he figures if he comes over and performs, he's going to make that money anyways.
Yeah. If he comes over and can do both, he's going to get stupid amount of money.
Oh, yeah.
Even if he can just pitch and throw 100, he's going to get dumb amount of money. Grinke got a $300 million contract. Or Kershaw got a $300 million contract.
Yeah, it's going to be really ridiculous.
Now, after that, the Mariners, who were originally the front runner, they're offering the most money for Ohtani. I think they realized they weren't going to get him. They went and did something a little differently. They picked up D. Gordon. They traded it.
The interesting thing about D. Gordon, I don't know if you guys all read into this too much, but they picked him up to play center field.
Yep, they're gonna have his legs in center field. Dude is a speedster. I don't think there's any doubt that he can play the position. Outfield's a hard position, obviously, but I think anyone in the pros, they're obviously athletic. They can pick it up pretty quick.
Yeah, no. Obviously, running down the routes and tracking the ball is going to take a little bit of time, but he's probably to be an average outfielder his first year. But if they consider him doing this for a few years, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets up there in Gold Glove level stuff because he is that fast. Realistically, outfield comes down to being that fast. And who was the center field Gold Glove winner in the AL this year? Did Buxton get it?
Yes, Byron Buxton got it.
And honestly, that guy doesn't have that good of routes, but he's stupid fast.
Yep.
So it really shows that with a little bit, it actually might pay off for him that he's never played the position before because he's going to be taught at a different level in his career, the basics, and that might stick with him more, and he's not just going to rely on his talent.
So with that, him playing center field, that means Jared Dyson's not going to be in center field anymore. I think personally they need to deal him away. They could probably get rid of him and get something in return just because of speed alone. He's not a bad player because they have Nelson Cruz, they got Mitch Haniger, and then they got D. Gordon.
Yeah, their outfield's pretty stacked.
They have Ben Gamel in there too.
Oh yeah, Ben Gamel. He had a big year once Mitch went down, but there's a lot of interesting stuff going down in Seattle this year.
A lot of upside. I personally think they should trade Cano. I think Cano had a good year last year. He ended up hitting 280. I think you trade him because he still did pretty decent, but he's obviously declining. Trade him while you can. Put D. Gordon and Gene Segura up the middle. That's disgusting.
Yeah, no, that would
range for days.
Yeah, you could do that also because their outfield, like we were just saying, they do have 4 guys that can play outfield, but I don't know. You can't get rid of Robbie Cano. That's your big name. You got
Nelson Cruz to bring in guys. Mitch Haniger was a stud last year when he was healthy. Ben Gamel.
Yeah, but those guys aren't going to bring people in yet. But, well, obviously Nelson Cruz will. The boomstick will be breaking walls for years. But, I mean, I don't know.
On top of it, D. Gordon, I don't like him in center field. Yes, he's going to make awesome plays because he's fast, but he had one of the weaker arms at second base. He literally has a second baseman arm. He's going to be Charlie Blackmon in MLB The Show. You can't throw out anyone.
I mean, but I feel like nowadays they don't care about your arm in the outfield at this level. As long as you can hit and run and catch, I mean, no one cares. Defense is so overlooked in MLB.
Yeah. Well, with that said, good start to the offseason. Big trades, big moves. Hopefully a lot more to come. See what else people are going to do. I think we're going to see a lot of big moves in the future here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Still got JD Martinez on the market. And there was someone else.
Yeah, who's going to land JD? I mean,
JD's seeking a $200 million plus, so.
I mean, is there any chance he re-signs with the D-backs?
I don't think so. I think the Giants is a spot for him, but I don't even know if they're showing interest.
Yeah, I mean, he'd probably do really good in that field. He won't hit as many home runs in San Francisco, but he'll live in that right center gap and do really well.
All right. Hope to see a lot more in the offseason for MLB moves. Let's move on to the NFL, starting off with Josh Gordon and his return. First game since 2014.
The dude had 11 targets, but he only caught 4 balls. If you watch the game film, he was just as fast as he was before. This guy is the most talented wide receiver in the league, if you ask me. He led the NFL in receiving yards with Brandon Weeden as his quarterback. If you can just kind of throw the ball and get it in the arm span of this dude, he's probably going to be amazing.
Yeah, the dude flies. He's huge. I think he has pretty much the skill set of Julio Jones. He went 4 catches, 85 yards. Like you said, he did have 11 targets. Deshaun Geyser just cannot get him the ball this week. Maybe it's just a chemistry thing. First time playing live. Hopefully this week they can connect a little more.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be one of those things where they're gonna have to get together, get a little more practice together. Maybe he doesn't realize how fast he actually is, but it also could come down to Kaiser has like I believe a 51% completion rate on the year.
Whew.
He's just not very good. And you Browns fans out there, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield.
I don't know. The Browns draft too many quarterbacks. I mean, they need to stick with someone or pick up a veteran to get their team going. They need to stop wasting draft picks on quarterbacks. They're only given 1 year to. Go get a veteran or someone that's proven to be good, then build off of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple guys in this draft between Rosen, Darnold, and Mayfield that could be the guy. So I have a hard time seeing them pass them up, but I don't know.
Yeah. Browns got work to do. I don't think quarterback's the biggest issue. Go pick up someone that's good. Build your line. Get a solid running back in there. I don't think they really have studs in the backfield. And maybe
Duke Johnson's pretty good, but he's mainly a ball catcher because they can't run block. Their pass blocking's pretty good, but they can't run block.
Yeah. With Josh Gordon back, sky's the limit for that team. If
They will not go defeated. You heard it here first. They will win at least one game just because of Josh Gordon.
Yeah, Josh Gordon will probably go off, catch like 200 yards in one of these games, and carry them. I saw him literally steal a ball away from the cornerback this week. Like, it was dumb.
He absolutely burned their free safety and coverage, and Deshaun Kaiser overthrew him by 10 yards. So, say they meet that up, it's going to be good.
Yeah. Moving on next, we got Juju Smith-Schuster. Or Schuster-Smith? I don't know. Juju. Suspended 1 game for his hit on Vontaze Burfict, which I thought was clean.
That was the cleanest hit. Man, the NFL nowadays, they can't hit anyone hard without getting a flag thrown. Sean Taylor's up in heaven right now looking down and saying, what the hell?
Yeah, I didn't see anything wrong with it. Big Ben threw a pick. And Juju, I mean, Vontaze was going for the tackle or going for a block, trying to get in the way, and Juju saw him and just absolutely flattened him. There was no head-to-head. There was nothing dirty. He just got destroyed. I've never seen a linebacker get flattened like that before.
That was the cleanest crack since Hines Ward. And Hines Ward was on the sideline that night. That might have got him a little pumped up. You know, growing up, you watch Hines Ward lay these dudes out. Why not go lay the wood? I mean, I thought it was clean. It is absolutely ridiculous that he got suspended a game. I can understand maybe like a little fine here or there.
Give him a fine. That's fine. They make enough money. But
he deserves the fine because he stood over the top of him. Yeah. But the dude, that was clean. The
suspension was definitely a little bit much.
But also on that side, the safety for Cincinnati. How do you pronounce his name? It's I have no idea how to pronounce his name. It's weird, but he had a clean hit to break up the pass on Antonio Brown, and I think the suspension got pulled. So I think that's clean. That's a really good thing for him because that was a clean hit. And if you're gonna tell safeties that you cannot break up passes with a hard hit, are they supposed to just like not hit them? I mean,
soon enough they're gonna be playing 2-hand touch in the NFL. But
exactly.
So Juju shouldn't have got suspended in our opinions, but who should have got suspended more, in my opinion, is Rob Gronkowski.
Rob Gronkowski, that dude, he's an animal. He's one of the best players in the league. They are up 20 points in that game, and he gets a holding call on him, or didn't get the call, but should have. He's Rob Gronkowski. People are going to use your hands a little bit more than normal on you, but The dude went after the play to a defensive guy with his back facing him and basically body slammed him.
So Tre'Davious White, he was laying on the ground. Play was ended. He's about to get up. Basically, Gronk came over and body slammed him. It wasn't anything super violent. It wasn't anything crazy, but Rob Gronkowski at, 285 pounds? That's no little dude jumping on you there. If it's a cornerback, dude probably just gets up. There's a fine. But Gronk jumps on him. They say he was concussed. I don't think it was actually a concussion from what they've been saying. A quote that Tre'Davious White said himself was, "I'm glad I had my mouthpiece in. I probably could have bit my tongue off. Bit my lip pretty bad. Terrible headache. It is what it is."
Yeah, I mean, that's just it's not a football play. The other two plays, Juju and that safety hit, that's a football play. Gronk, that's not a football play. That was just straight out of anger.
Yep. Anything to do with concussion protocol that isn't during the play, I think he should be suspended for the rest of the regular season. Even more, I wouldn't even be mad about. But one game is just a joke.
It should be at least 2 games. The NFL now, it's pretty much like it's their automatic go-to, a 1-game suspension. 1-game suspension for this, 1-game suspension for that. They need to make a difference. There has to be something different.
It's like
for everything.
We'll do 1 game if it's not bad. We'll do 2 if it's actually bad. And I think this one's bad. I don't think it didn't look bad. It just looked dumb. All he did was body slam him, but possibly concussing someone, messing with their brain with the levels of CT, the increases in CT these days, you can't do it. You can't do it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was bad. All right, let's move on to the next one. Case Keenum.
Keenum and the Vikes.
Is he MVP worthy?
Being a Vikings fan, I personally do not think he's MVP worthy. I watch all the games, at least when I can. And honestly, he doesn't do anything spectacular. He makes some good plays on the run. He'll scramble a little bit, but the passes he makes, they're wide open a lot of the times I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Thielen's gone for 1,000 yards, and there's a couple of them where he might thread the pass, but for the most part, he just scrambles. The broken coverages happen, and he hits someone that's wide open. I don't think he's MVP worthy.
Yeah, Case Keenum is having a great year. He has a 67% completion rating, 67.5 to be exact. 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's doing exactly what the Vikings need him to do. He's controlling a game, and he does make a good few passes every game to make that difference in the game. But other than that, I don't think you can put him into the MVP talk. You just can't. He's good. He's really good. But yeah, I think he's the best quarterback the Vikings have had in a long time.
He's awesome this year. He has had the same amount of touchdowns Tom Brady's had, I think, the past 5 weeks combined. Can't deny how good he's being this year. Maybe, like Zimmer said in a post-game interview, maybe the game just slowed down for him. He was a great college quarterback, but he had his struggles with the Texans, and he had his struggles with the Rams. Maybe the game's slowing down for him a little bit. He's got better blockers. Maybe he's doing a little bit better.
But also, those guys are bad. Those teams that he was put on, the reason he got on those teams is because I'm pretty sure he holds almost every NCAA record in passing or close to. The reason that those teams needed him is because they were just bad teams. And look at the Rams now. People are saying it's Jared Goff that's fixing everything. No, the best thing that happened to them was that Jeff Fisher didn't play him last year with how bad that team was. If he played all last year, I guarantee you he's not as good as he is this year. Oh, yeah. That team was awful. Team was bad.
I still think one of the biggest things that coaches do wrong these days is throwing in rookie quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No college quarterback is ready to go 5 wide and throw down the field against people who are bigger, faster, and stronger.
I mean, if you look at it in college football, this is the difference. In the NFL, every one of the defensive backs is the best player from their team. And most of them went to a big school.
Yep.
If they didn't go to a big school, they were the top-rated guy in their Division II team, or he's the best guy in the country for that conference. But, I mean, when you get to the pro level, everyone is that good. And that's where the game's different. And breaking down the game at a different level, like if you look in college, there's that lockdown cornerback. Like when Jalen Ramsey was in college, everyone was like, you have to get him. He's the guy. Look at him now. He's doing great in the NFL. But then everyone is that good in the NFL. Not as good, obviously. He's a little better than others, but defensive backs are ridiculous in the NFL.
To conclude, just on the topic, we do not think Keenum is MVP worthy. He's having a great year, but I don't think he's anywhere on the level of Carson Wentz or Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady's shoo-in to win this year, once again.
Maybe next year. If he does it, if he puts up these numbers next year that he's putting up right now for a whole season, maybe.
All right, let's move on to college football a little bit. I actually have one category that I did not add on there, and that's my boy Herm. But let's start off with the top 4. What you got, Rick?
So, the top 4 in the college football playoff, we got Clemson, OU, Alabama, and Georgia. Georgia and then Alabama, my bad. But, yeah, those are the top 4 teams. I personally believe that. So, it's Clemson and Alabama playing in the first round. I see Clemson winning that game. Alabama isn't as good as they were before. I still don't believe in Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. Seems like a smart guy, but I don't think he has the talent to beat Clemson's defense.
I 100% agree. I don't think Clemson skipped a beat even with losing Deshaun Watson. They are just dominating people. They beat a top 10 team by 20 like 2 weeks ago.
Their running back is ridiculous. He has acceleration that is going to be electric at the next level. Then in the next one we have this is the more interesting game here. We got OU and Georgia. I
got Georgia in this game. I think Baker Mayfield is awesome. I really do. But I think it's going to be Georgia Clemson. I think it's going to be a good game. They've just broken out in this last couple of games. They've proven that they can dominate. They just beat Miami by 20. It's like 27-6 or something. I thought Miami was winning that game, and they came out and just beat them on all levels.
That was Clemson that played them.
Miami?
Yeah, Clemson and Miami played.
Oh, wow. I'm dumb. But Georgia beat another top 10 team. And maybe it was Auburn. I think it was Auburn.
It was Auburn.
They beat Auburn 27-6. That's my bad. They came out and dominated, and that was the first time I really put them on my map. Once they won that game, I was like, well, they definitely need to be in top 4 and could potentially win it if they're hot.
Yeah, no, they're definitely – I think they're going to win that game. Baker Mayfield's heart's pretty big, but it's going to be a tough game for him to win. He can't win a game on his own. OU is a good team, but their defense, as we know in the past, in the Big 12, they don't play defense a lot. They don't
play defense in the Big 12. He's going to have to throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns if they want to win.
At least.
Yeah, they just beat, when they played their rivals, Oklahoma State, it was like 55-50 or something. It was like 35-35 at half. Like, they score a ton of points. They give up a ton of points. It's going to be an absolute shootout if they want anything to do with winning that game.
And jumping into the next category, the Heisman Trophy, Baker Mayfield's going to win it. He is the guy this year. It was all about the running backs at the early part of the year, but now it's all about Baker Mayfield.
I think running backs don't get enough credit these days. Ever since Monty Ball didn't win, he did win. He was the last one to win. They haven't really looked at running backs too much. I do think Baker Mayfield deserves it this year, but Bryce Love has had a crazy, crazy year.
Bryce Love's super underrated in my opinion. Obviously, we're on the West Coast, so we get to see him a little bit more than the people on the East Coast, but he's really good. And
1,900 yards this year.
That is absolutely ridiculous. The dude, and he's only a sophomore, I believe?
Yeah, he's young. He's definitely not making it to his senior year without going out. Dude is ridiculous.
Yeah, if it wasn't for
Christian McCaffrey, he would have been starting as a freshman.
Well, yeah, that, and I'm talking Penn State's running back. I'm so bad with names. What's his name? Shoot. All right, well, Penn State's running back. He is having a great year to start the year, but I think I saw a stat that he is averaging under 4 yards a carry the last, 5 weeks.
Dude, that's just Penn State in general. They look like a potential top 4 team.
Saquon Barkley.
And they just are not great anymore. They have fallen off with the better teams they've played. They haven't been able to win those big games.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I think Clemson is going to beat Alabama. They've had an easy schedule, and they haven't beaten anyone good this year. Any decent team they played this year, they've squeaked out.
Yep, exactly. So
Lamar Jackson, he's the last candidate. He's top 3 candidate.
Stud, absolute stud.
Oh yeah, he definitely might be good in the NFL. He does run a little bit too much for the NFL level, but I'm sure he can calm that down. He does throw for a lot.
He is the most talented guy out of these 4. He is that elite dual threat, and I think whoever gets him in the NFL, if they mold him correctly, put him in the right system, he's going to be dangerous. He is very accurate downfield. I haven't been proven to see what he can do in between coverage because obviously in college there's lots of big plays, but I think he'll do fine.
Michael Vick tweeted last year, I think it was a tweet, but said that he is just a better version of him. Lamar Jackson is a better version of Michael Vick, and I didn't know if it was true at first, but after 2 years throwing for 7,000 yards and running for 3,000 in 2 years, I don't think you can really deny it. I mean, Michael Vick was a stud in college also, but I think this dude's a better passer. Michael Vick wasn't the most accurate passer. This dude is a beast.
Ridiculous. Yep. So this is exciting right here. As you guys can see, I have an ASU shirt on right now. Arizona State, baby.
Forks up.
Herm Edwards. This is huge. I mean, a lot of people are upset about Graham leaving here in Arizona because he is a stand-up guy. He's a very good talker, but what he's put on the field has not been the greatest.
Yeah, Arizona State, great tradition as a football school. They're usually ranked in football and baseball every single year. Basketball, they're very good as well usually. Little bit of lull, but they're ranked again this year in basketball.
Bobby Hurley.
Yeah, I think it was time for Todd Graham to leave. The dude, I think we were only ranked the first 2 years he came, and those weren't with his guys. So we need to get back to being ranked and try something new. I think Herm Edwards is. I mean, he wasn't a great coach, but he is a great motivator. I think the name alone is going to help with recruiting, which ASU, I think, struggled with a lot with Todd Graham. I think they struggled a lot. They're bringing out a lot of in-state guys and even accepting a lot of walk-ons with Graham.
Yeah, there's a lot of we have connections at ASU, and there's a lot of walk-ons that make it on that team and get a chance of playing. Yeah, for such a big school that it has a tradition of being one of the best schools in the Pac-12, they were not getting it done. And Herm Edwards is going to motivate kids, which that's half of football. If you can college football is about motivation. These guys are talented, and if you can get this guy to go play for the name on the front of their jersey instead of the one on the back, it's going to be good.
Motivation and recruiting. And then you can have a good college team.
Yep, there you go. That's all that matters. Everyone's relatively the same talent level other than, I mean, Alabama gets all the 5-star recruits. There's all those guys. So if you can bring half of those guys over, that you can get 2 times more people than you were before, ASU is going to be an elite team.
Yeah, ASU they're always top 3 in enrollment, and they have the largest campus and great facilities for the team. They just updated their stadium, put in all new training facilities for the football team, so hopefully that helps out a little bit as well.
And they're still doing construction on the stadium. I saw yesterday that I saw cranes on the stadium again. They're continuously updating the stadium. It's the same stadium I've had forever. It's a great place for recruiting. There's no reason why a 5-star recruit doesn't come to ASU and say, I don't want to come here. ASU is beautiful weather, beautiful stadium, great tradition.
Gets hot a little bit, but that's about it.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girls. I mean, realistically, that's all that matters for recruits. All that stuff. There's no reason why they can't string in some 5-star recruits.
Yeah, you don't even have to practice outside for football. They have a tent set up, and it's air conditioned. So the heat really isn't an issue when it comes to on the field until you're playing in the game.
Mm-hmm. End of the day, Herm Edwards is going to be great for ASU as long as he gets the chance to be. if it's because it is possible if he goes out there and throws up a dud next year that maybe he's a one and done because that might get the AD fired.
Yep, that's the only way I think that could go to. Obviously, it could go south, but I think there's a lot of upside bringing in Herm.
Yep.
All right. Other sports. We're going to talk a little about golf and then WWE.
We're going to get through this pretty quick here.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty quick recap. Tiger Woods this last week competed in the Hero World Challenge. First time he played in a few years.
First time he played an entire tournament in a few years.
Yeah, he's tried a few other times, but usually pulls out because his back hurts or his shoulder hurts or some kind of body pain. He played a full 4 rounds, shot a 69, 68, 75, 68. Pretty good. He had third round was bad. He ended up -8, finished 9th. I mean, that's pretty good, honestly. Top 10 at the age of 41. If he can stay healthy, he might have another burst of wind in him.
Yeah, he was talking about how this is the first time that his back hasn't ever hurt while playing in a long time. So if you feel good, obviously the talent's there. I think he'll do pretty good.
Yep.
Along with that same tournament, Rickie Fowler.
My boy. Rickie Fowler. I'm a fan of Rickie. Him and Justin Johnson are my favorites, but he's a fan favorite for everyone. Everyone wants to see Rickie Fowler win. The dude is a good dude and really hasn't done anything to make himself look bad ever, other than maybe playing bad here and there. Dude is on fire this year. Yeah,
no, he is definitely picking up. Ever since the majors this year, he had some pretty good runs in the majors, and he's been playing some really good golf. He's definitely a fan favorite, and it's great to see how he's doing.
Dude weighs 150 pounds and can hit the ball over 300 yards. It's insane. He's played in 2 tournaments this last year. The OHL Classic, he finished 2nd, and he shot -18. And then this last week he won, and he shot a 61 in the last round, a -11 in the last round. I think he birdied 10 out of 13 holes or something crazy like that. On a roll, he's on fire. I would love to see him have an awesome year in 2017/18.
Mm-hmm. And then the last thing we're going to touch on today, the biggest name in MMA probably ever.
For women.
Well, women and men. I mean, when she came on the scene, the people around the world. Conor McGregor's probably bigger now, but when she was on, the top of the world.
That's true. She was on top of the world.
You go on social media and you'd see your random girl that you don't even like, the basic bitch that you know, and she's gonna be over there tweeting, "Ronda Rousey's fighting tonight. Let's go watch it." She turned MMA into a co-ed sport.
Yeah,
pretty much.
She put it on that next level.
But she is apparently going to the WWE.
I learned this morning. I didn't have no idea. That is insane to me. I didn't know if she was ever going to fight again, but moving to the WWE, for me, that's a stretch. I think that's a little bit, I don't want to say she's selling out, but I think she's just trying to make some extra money.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't want to say she's selling out because honestly, I mean, it's probably fun. I mean, it's almost like acting. It's pretty good.
I mean, she's a good actress. She's been in movies before. She's a good-looking gal. I mean, she can fit the WWE standards.
It just hurts her reputation, which I don't think she really cares about at this point. She was the most badass girl in the world at one point. So
yeah, I think she hurt her own reputation to her, like what she believes. I think she's like, whatever. Let's go do this, make money. I'm not on top of the world anymore. Let's go do something else.
But the name's still huge, so people will tune in just for her.
Yep, people will become WWE fans because of her. Guarantee it. I'll probably watch one just to see her fly around and flip and stuff. Break a chair.
Yep. Well, guys, we hit everything we wanted to talk about today. Ryan's going to hit us with our outro right here.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for tuning in to Inside Edge with Rick and Ryan. First podcast of the new YouTube and first time we've ever done this, so I appreciate you guys for checking us out. If you're on YouTube, like our video, subscribe if you want to see more. You'll be seeing lots of improvements in the future. This is our first go around, like I said. Nice rough draft. Hopefully to improve on in the future. Thank you guys and have a wonderful day.
Have a good one, y'all.